What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Today, I'm gonna show you some games against randoms. I was practicing some Zabasi for World Championships and stuff, and I thought I'd show you these games because Explorers are kind of good. I think I've showed them off a few times before, but I really want to drive the point home. Explorers are pretty good. It kind of is changing the game completely as we know it. So I'll just kind of show you what I mean. Let's get right into things. So things are normal so far. And you see, I actually can't do a construction opening here. I have to do something different. And I'm against IMO. I go for fishing opening. I see I have fish. Crazy stuff. But yeah, everything is normal so far. Until I fire off that first explorer. And yeah, I get the lighthouse, but I mean, that's to be expected. But my goodness, it just gives me everything I need to work with. I have almost perfect information on the opponent at this point. And things are gonna get crazier actually. Like, you thought this was crazy. The opponent gets archery, which is actually kind of annoying for me here. They do delay their development a lot, so I think they could have waited on it, but it's an interesting idea nonetheless. Now we go right in, and I just make some units. They go for the siege, but I'm ready for it. Everything is fine. Find a ruin, and you guys might know why I'm not leveling up the city, not getting the workshop. A, I want to train units and get the city here in the middle, and B, we're not getting a workshop, we're getting another explorer because I want another lighthouse, and I think you can already see just how good this is. I mean, my third explorer is also already funneled, by the way, which, yes, with 4 cities, it's now actually a good idea to triple explore. Also, amazing pop ruin there. But yeah, I go climbing. Climbing's going to help with a few things. It's going to make the explorers a little better. Speaking of which, this game is in version 1.15. As of recording this, a new update just dropped, version 1.16, which further improves explorers, now making them take mountains into consideration with how much fog they reveal. So they're actually even better right now than in these games. And again, these explorers are pretty good. This is a small map, not a tiny map, small map. 3 explorers, I have God, just like that. And it's worth it. I sacrifice 3 star per turn, but I get perfect information of the map and a monument, which is definitely worth it. And it's gonna make, you know, getting to 4 cities, getting good expansion, really good. It definitely helps turn 0 tribes a lot because they already have plenty of stars to work with. Normally it's the non-turn 0 tribes that need to get need to get workshops on their other cities. But at this point I have a nice city advantage. I have a giant. It's gonna go in the water. I can get naval dominance easily. And everything's just looking really nice here. Again, I got 3 explorers, but I'm just kind of unpunished. And yeah, now I can get roads. I get a bridge. And now I can siege the opponent to annoy them. Juggernaut's coming in. They get a vet sword back there, but it doesn't really help them. They can just barely unsiege and defend. They go for some chops. Try to stay afloat. They're down in cities, but they do at least have Villa in the long term, but I don't think they're really making it to the long term. Especially since, well, they actually got a workshop on one of their cities. So they have like no chance of I've got at this point, and I'm just up a monument, and I'm gonna finish things on in style, get a nice giant push here. Really snazzy play. But don't go yet, because I do have another game. Yeah, Veteran Rider. And boom. Blocking this archer from being able to unsiege. If the opponent can afford roads here, they can unsiege, but I actually don't think they can afford roads because they're kind of dealing with a couple sieges. So yeah, at this point it's just GG's, and I'll cut to the next match. Alright, this time against Hodrick, and you might see a theme with these games, and that's why I'm showing them. It's almost like there's a purpose to this video. But yeah, I decided to not level up right away, because I think you guys know why. The Explorer actually doesn't go to the north, getting the lighthouse there. Instead, goes right in the center and uncovers 0 lighthouses. A tragedy, except I get tons of information anyway. Explorers are still amazing, even if you don't get a lighthouse, but if you do get a lighthouse, it's just icing on the cake. And I see this middle city. First off, my density is atrocious. This is, like, a really, really bad spawn normally. Like, you have water access, I guess, as an advantage over the opponent. That's kind of it. I mean, we both have kind of questionable spawns. I guess, relatively speaking, my spawn is probably still actually better than the opponent's, but I get a workshop here. Rare workshop moment. But the reason why I do this is I'm expecting to take this city. I can explore off of this, or if there's another city in the south, I can either get an explorer there or just get the lighthouse the old-fashioned way. You know, actually, like, going to it with a unit. But yeah, the opponent actually has good enough info, or they just guessed really well. They decide to not go in the village because they suspect I'm going to kick them off, or they know that I can kick them off. Free Spirit Ruin, kind of bad. It's not that bad against Todrick, but yeah, now I am getting the city. Except they go in for the road, which is really committal. Super good for me. I find a village up here, and I have a nice plan. Vet Sword ensures that I'm getting the city. There's a ruin here I have to get climbing. But now I've got roads. They tried to road on. A little ambitious. I get climbing in case the ruin is an explorer. I'm completely fine with that, so I get climbing beforehand. Actually, I guess I didn't need to do that. I could have gotten climbing after the ruin because ruin still would have gone there, so a bit of a misplay. But I still want climbing. Do I want climbing anyway? I can just place a bridge. Yeah, maybe climbing was actually just a waste there, now that I think about it. It looks like it makes sense, but like I just don't need to get it actually. But I'm able to get this village in the center now. And I uncover this lighthouse in the north. I gotta zoom out here to really show things off. And now this explorer, from the other side of the map, no problem, snags the lighthouse. And I decided to get the explorer here. I could place like 2 roads or something, or like bridge and road to uncover this, but I decided it's not worth it. The city's in the middle, it's going to be highly contested. The opponent can only pressure the city. I don't really need it to have a workshop. Might as well get the explorer, get my giant up, develop faster, yada yada. Get the monument a little earlier. And now I just have a city wall. And a place I've got up here, kind of just setting up my giants and whatnot. And from this point, the opponent is screwed. As in, they can't win because I have 6 cities to their 3. And I also have Eye God. Basically, again, 3 explorers. In this case, I got 3 explorers. 3 explorers seems to be the magic number. If you can expand really well on these small maps, you get a pretty big advantage. So I'm almost wondering, do explorers need a bit of a nerf? Because I did hear that suggestion floating around in the Discord. You know, maybe reduce the total amount of moves that the explorer has, because currently it's 15. Which, before, when a lot of the moves were wasted, that made sense. But now, with how efficient the explorers are, and how even more efficient they'll be with the new update to explorers that just dropped today, as of recording, it'll be, like, I think, it'll drop at least, like, a day or so, whenever I'm uploading this. You get the point, though. Explorers are really, really good. So maybe they actually do need a nerf. Workshops are, like, not actually that good anymore, which is really weird. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.